Hey everyone, this is Theo. Welcome back to Making It Make Sense with Isaiah, Jasper, and Theo. Just a few reminders. Follow us on Instagram. Excuse me, I have hiccups, so bear with me today. Isaiah underscore Jasper underscore Theo underscore. Email us at making it make sense with IJT at gmail.com. And today we're going to be talking about raggedy ass Corona and will we ever return back to normal, or what will that look like?
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with this Negro, I, Isaiah.
Oh man. Miss Raggedy Ass Rona. She a little bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is.
She's a whole bit. No. You know, I honestly and like so I'm gonna be like positively realistic, right? Bordering on cautiously optimistic. But like I feel that I think I don't know if we'll ever return to normal the way it was before exactly, but I also hate this like using the term new normal, even though it does apply, but it's been said so many times. But I just, I do that unfortunately, I don't think that we're gonna live in a world, at least for a little while, without coronavirus. But I do think that it can get better. It's just, all of the little moving pieces that make it very difficult, such as, um, like I guess I don't, herd immunity, vaccinations, all of these words that we've heard for just about 2 years now, and going to take a lot of something. I just feel like it's like, I mean, I know what I feel about it, but it's like it's what I feel about it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of the case for a lot of people. It's like, okay, this is the way I feel about it, but you can feel a way about it, but then it's like, it has to be like a shared.
It's not matching up with the facts.
Right. You know what I mean? Well, yes, it is in what I feel, because I'm not totally diving into my thoughts about how we get there because ah but I want to, but I want to, obviously, like, I want us to talk about, like, will we ever get there first, and then we, then I
You can
can.
let the audience know, Isaiah, that you are anti-vaccine.
Oh,
You've never been
stop, don't do
vaccinated.
not.
Currently, Isaiah has measles,
Do
chickenpox,
not. I
and
don't even
cholera.
listen. Thank God I received my vaccinations when I was in kindergarten. No, I'm kidding. No,
Can
I
you
don't.
imagine you have cholera
I
in
have, yeah, I have
America?
so we're not in the time of COVID now, we're in the time of cholera. Remember that novel? Um but I mean, I have my feelings about how we get a place where we're in a world where it's not completely non-existent, but it's, something different is happening than what is right now. But obviously, I what do you guys think?
Um, as far as like, will like will we get to some normalcy?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever we'll ever get to a place where we'll be in a normal setting with one another. I think it's always going to be this unsaid fear and shielding from each other because of this pandemic. Like, it's really like we have lost almost 1 million lives, if not a million, and close to 1 million lives over 2 years. So I think we're definitely not going to get to a place where we can be around each other and not be afraid to interact or be close to each other in social settings. So I definitely think that this is going to affect us from now on into the foreseeable future.
Lord. I think so too. Like, it's unfortunate. I don't want to give, you know, COVID any damn power, but it's just is the
I got
reality.
the power.
Wait, Jasper, can you hit that note one more time? Just the
I,
ah.
I got the power.
There we go. Right there.
Yes.
That part.
That's exactly what COVID says. I think
Hmm.
it's going to be our new normal. For lack of a better word,
Yeah.
wearing mask, vaccine boosters, and it's going to be our new normal when you start seeing people marketing and trying to financially become rich through COVID means, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
when they
Hmm.
capitalize on COVID.
Oh yeah.
So I think that that's their future. We're not going back to being carefree, being in big spaces, and just being comfortable being in those big spaces anymore.
Yeah.
Nope.
So fuck you, COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in hell. We are in hell.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is hell. This is
This
not.
is like it's like a movie. Why are we in this movie? Can we please change the DVD?
Right? Like, I don't even want to watch
Yes.
this movie. Like, I didn't rent this shit.
I need a new script because I didn't sign up for this
It's
role. I need a new script.
Right?
unfortunate. And I
It is.
also think, like, during COVID, unfortunately, I was working because I work in in a medical setting,
Right.
and COVID whooped my ass psychologically, physically, spiritually. It it abused me,
Yeah.
and there's nothing Theo could have done about it.
Oh wow. So you were in a domestic relationship with COVID. Oh wow.
Yeah,
So she beat
and
your ass.
this is the support group.
Yeah, she beat your ass.
This is the COVID this is the COVID she feature.
I saw COVID killing people. I saw COVID just. I remember there was a patient that I saw, and the patient was, everybody thought the patient was gonna make it, and unfortunately, the patient came in and died hours after they were there, and they were stabilized.
Jesus.
Wow.
And seeing that over and over, and then going to hospitals and literally had people outside in tents. I was like, no, 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 no. This is not real. This is a set for a virus TV show. And like it felt, at least here in New York, it felt heavy. It felt dark. It
Yeah.
felt morbid.
Oh yeah, I can only
Very.
imagine because I seeing it on watching it on the news. You only see parts of it, but you actually have lived through it, and it was I can just imagine in person seeing all those people in tents lined up to get some type of care and treatment, especially in the beginning stages of it because they didn't know what to give. We didn't have a vaccine, so
And constantly, I don't know if you guys where you were, constantly hearing the siren of the ambulance. Constantly,
Yeah.
constantly, constantly. And I take lorazepam for my anxiety, and
Mhm.
I didn't notice that I was going through my lorazepam quickly,
Yeah.
because normally I take like once a lorazepam once a week,
Mhm.
but I was taking a lorazepam. It says take as needed. I was taking 2 or 3 lorazepams a day,
Oh wow.
and now that I'm
wow.
out of the midst of COVID, I realized, like, whoa, Theo, my anxiety level was at 1,000.
Jesus.
And thank God for lorazepam. Whoever created lorazepam, God bless you. I'm writing you a letter of appreciation,
Black
because
Jesus made it.
it helped me make it through the finish line. I I don't know if I would have had like a mental breakdown, if I would have had whatever some folks had because of the isolation, because of the news, because of the numbers. But and also I have my family. Thank God for my family. They were super duper supportive. They were super duper present, because that was my quarantine crew.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't also for my boyfriend, it I don't know what I would have done. It,
Hmm.
So because I got emotional support from him,
Right.
emotional support from my family. Everyone at work was just going bonkers. But that was so needed, especially in that dark, ugly, sticky time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sad because this time, especially last year, like when we first hit, it was like finding out that this disease has been around since since the end of 2019. So it's existed, and we weren't aware that it was existing and had been around, and that the person who was leading the country was aware of this potential catastrophe and blew it off as nothing. And
Mm.
then we get hit with it, and almost a million people have died. And a good, but 90% of them are people of color. So we're getting taken out by the numbers, about the masses because of this disease. So
Preach.
it's sad. It's sad because it seems like every time there's a disease or or an outbreak, we get to our people are the ones that are affected by it the most, and we
You gotta say
die
that.
drastically, and it's sad, and it just makes you upset, angry, fearful, all the above. The emotions just
And you are justified, and people are justified to experience all of them.
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
oh yeah,
Isaiah,
it's
how was it up where you are? Because we're in the same
Yeah, in
state,
the
but we're
state, but we're so for anyone listening, so I am upstate New York. And so even though our state was in the epicenter, like Theo, you were like smack dab in the middle of everything. So um I mean definitely still felt the heaviness and the effects of it. But it was, I mean, it was insane. It was I was, when I tell you, I felt afraid to leave the house, like at certain points. Like I felt like the level of anxiety. I felt like I okay, I shouldn't even leave the house. Like, or not even, not leave it, like because we were about to move actually. But we had in our previous house, we had like a big yard, but it was like fenced in. So like pretty much like I wouldn't leave, like I wouldn't go beyond the yard. Like I wouldn't like go beyond the yard. And or I would if my husband, and I, if we had to like run out, to replenish, like food and and things like that, like I would, I'd say, oh no, I'll come with you, and he'd be like, no, you stay in the car, because he's like, I know you're gonna freak out, like you're not doing, like he was very cognizant of like the fact that I wasn't, like before I realized like I wasn't really okay, like he realized like okay, he's not okay, like.
oh,
And I wish I could say like I did better um under those circumstances, but I did with what I had, in me to do. And I didn't have like a lot of like, I don't know, it's funny, I feel like generally I can compartmentalize better,
mm,
just because my parents can. And like I just could, like it was just this, it just seemed so beyond me. Like I mean, obviously it's beyond all of us, but it just seemed so like what is this, like I don't know how to digest this or any of this. um
it's too much. Take it back. Take it back.
yeah, take it, like here, like on you, like can you run me my normalcy real quick, thank
Yeah.
you, collect. um it was just wasn't great. And then like just everything just being closed, or not wanting to go certain places at certain times, even if you could go into, okay, I need to go into the store to get this, like, oh god, I don't want to touch this surface. I remember feeling like um and I and just for anyone listening, like I chatted with Jasper and Theo about this like previously, but um I I felt like I was just constantly on the verge of like a panic attack because I didn't, no matter how many facts were laid out in front of me and how much I could, so to speak, like digest mentally, like I could not digest it like emotionally. Like it was just like it just would not sit. It was like just kept coming back up. Like it's like this is not I'm not understanding this like on this level. And and then like I was furloughed for 10 months. So that's another question. So I was at work when I started hearing about COVID-19. Where were you guys when you first when you're like I remember our office, there was an exposure in our office apparently.
Teh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
There was so this was like right at the kind of like I had heard about it in the news, I had been right, and then I go to work and I think I was chatting with a couple people like, oh, this sounds a little crazy. Hopefully they can get this under control, right? Just normal conversation. And I hear, oh, we all get called into so we at the place that I worked at previously, there was like this really cool, it was called the Lido deck. And so anyway, HR called everybody into this one space. And this is it's a pretty sizable building. So it was a good amount of people. And they tell us that there was an exposure, that they're going to send us home to work for 2 weeks. And just like the rest of the country heard, 14 days. And, and, uh, and it was not 2 weeks, obviously. But, that was the first where I went, okay, this is all right. This is weird. This is not good. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go home, started working from home, and then I'll get into that after. But where were you guys? Yeah, like when you first, like when it was like, whoa, this just got real.
Where are you, Jasper? You can go.
I was at work, in the lounge, and uh, saw the news because then we always see the TV playing in the lounge, so we would see the news every morning. And at work, and watching it and watching the news and hearing them talk about it, and really for me it was like, okay, do they know what they're talking about? Do they really understand and really have knowledge of what this is, and even where it came from? Because it was like so many different reports. So I was like, okay, if they say it's here, in my mind it was like I wasn't panicking, but I was like, okay, now my life's about to change, and I'm about to be miserable, probably for the rest of it, because now I'm gonna have to wear masks and be covered up and distance. And I was a kid, so I'm used to being able to be affectionate with my babies. Cause I like to
Yeah.
hug my children. I like to, that's the way we show love and the kids show love.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now my whole interaction, everything's gonna change, and it did change. So I was like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do? So
Yeah.
yeah, it was at work when I found out.
So I don't own. So I don't watch TV. I don't have cable.
Mm-hmm.
So everything yeah, I haven't had cable on purpose for I think going on 7 years.
Wait, side note, did you unplug or did you and get like streaming apps and stuff like that?
Oh,
Or you
I
just
unplugged and then just when everything like had my I have my Netflix
That's
and
what
my
we just have like our Wi-Fi and then we have all like the streaming apps and
yeah.
watch everything.
Yeah, and that's what I do.
So
Type
Okay.
I
of
don't have access to the news
Mm-hmm.
Oh
and like
God.
yeah. So I am,
Uh-oh.
but so I wasn't really there. I was busy just going on my regular day, and I wasn't really having access to the news and everything that's transpiring because after Trump became president, I didn't want to hear nothing about the news. I was like, "Fuck you, CNN. Fuck you,
Fake news.
MSNBC.
Fake,
Fox News. You can burn in hell."
Oh,
And
you mean fake news.
so yeah, fake news. So I was just
hashtag.
disconnected. So I work for full disclosure. I'll just say this part. I work for the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene in New York. So we're at the forefront of a lot of all this stuff that's happening here.
Right.
So I was just in my own world, being naive, and then a patient came in with flu-like symptoms,
Uh-huh.
and everybody was like, "Corona, Corona, Corona." And here in New York, there is in the borough in Queens, there is a part there that's called like I think it's called a county. It's called Corona.
Oh.
Oh, I'm familiar with. I've heard of that. Yeah.
Is so I was like, is this person from Corona? Why is it so important? Like, if they got something from Corona, should we send them back to Corona? And I
Oh
was thinking
Lord.
like that.
Theo, Lord.
Ignorantly, ignorant, because I was so disconnected.
No, but at the time, like I get it. But that's kind of great though.
I was like, send this guy back to Corona. And then they had to isolate him. A special team came in to disinfect and tell everybody, like, if you were in that room, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I was like, wait a goddamn minute, what is going on?
Like, what is this, Resident Evil?
Yeah. This infection, highly contagious. And then I made the mistake to go over to my parents' house, because my parents' house, they have fucking cable in every damn room. And I started, hearing the news, and this was this was here since 2019, and it's spreading, and by that time it wasn't in New York yet. And then this guy was one of the first people in New York to have it.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, shut the front door. And then, I started. Then we then created a COVID-19 task force in the Department of Health, and I was a part of that. And then all
God
the
bless
information
you.
came in flooding, and I was like, oh, we in danger, y'all.
Oh wow.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
So I
Well,
was at work as well.
you can say you were part of history because you had the first person. You had the first person to ever to have it. So
I
you're
don't want to
part of
be a part of
history.
history for that. So, like, that's what I was. No.
But it's history. I mean, you're part of. Unfortunately, you're part of history.
In an
And that
unfortunate way.
area in New
Yeah.
York was one of the most. They were the high hitting
Yeah.
area
We were
in
like,
all the country.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Corona Queens, and I forgot the
like
hospital name that's over there that took care of all those folks. They worked so hard.
And it's a liquor called Corona too.
There's what?
A liquor.
it's
It's
a
a
Oh
it's,
yeah,
beer,
the
Jasper.
yeah,
You
beer.
say
beer.
a
Yes.
liquor.
A
My
beer.
cousins
Yeah. So.
love Corona.
I like a Corona with lime. I do. I enjoy it, especially in the summertime on the beach.
I don't like beer, but
I don't like beer either. Beer is like, damn,
Oh, it's not like my preference. Like I prefer wine or prosecco. If I'm being
because you're
very
fancy.
specific. I'm not fancy.
no,
I just like a little prosecco.
I like wine and Ciroc. You know,
Oh, Syrah. Okay,
yes,
girl.
you
All
Talk
know,
about
right. But I like
yes,
fancy.
some wine.
I
I like.
like I like juice and water and
I,
Pepsi.
I'm
Boo,
down.
When I'm feeling dangerous.
See what I'm feeling
boo,
dangerous. Sprite if you
boo,
call me Mr. Sprite if you're nasty.
boo. Very
No, but
ordinary.
that's where I was for Corona, and it has haunted me until now. And mind you, that
Mhm.
so that's a clinic that I worked in. That clinic has not been open since then.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yep. So that community is no longer getting the necessary services that they needed because Miss Corona came, and Corona's priority now.
Yes, Corona came like the bitch that she is and took over.
I know she just had to show her ass, didn't she?
Yes, she said, "I'm here and I'm taking over and I'm gonna let y'all have it." How about that?
Oh my god.
Yes,
Corona's like herpes; it just keeps coming back for no reason.
Jesus. And in different forms,
Now this
like
new
yes,
just
Delta.
yes.
right.
It's too much. Too much.
Can't you just stop at alpha and call it a day? Like we
I don't
good.
know.
We got it the first
Yeah.
time. We
I just
learned.
got tested yesterday for the Delta variant, and it came back negative. Thank God. But
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
It's
do you
just
guys
okay.
see what the future is though?
It's hell.
Companies are now mandating once in a couple of weeks, the vaccine is going to become official. It's not going to be on a trial, emergency trial.
Oh right, it'll be
Officially
officially
approved.
approved. Right.
Companies are making it a mandate in their policies and procedures for you to be vaccinated, or bye bye.
What? I guess I guess it depends on. the states because you have to be like, I don't think it's like I don't think it's a worldwide. Nigga, it's based on the states. That's going to push the mandate to make it like a requirement that you have to have
Or they're
that.
gonna fire. Well, the
Yeah,
Republican states, they don't believe in Corona. Look
you
at Florida.
know, or mask, none of that. So,
it
so you know, and to
is
me,
scary.
it is, and I get the man. I am for wearing masks, and we should wear. Everybody should wear masks and be covered up. But I'm not here for like them. If you don't get vaccinated, you can't work because how they gonna survive? Because the government doesn't want to give any money, no more money. Not trying to get more money. So if the person doesn't get vaccinated because they may not feel comfortable yet, because that's what they're trying to do. It's kind of, it's like you can't force somebody to force someone to do something they're not ready or comfortable with because people have anxiety. People don't like needles. People don't trust medicine. Don't trust science. Religious reasons. You want to force somebody to do something they're not equipped and ready to take in yet.
I was actually gonna, because I like that you kind of segued into that too, Jasper. Like,
Hmm.
what, I mean, it like, and obviously, like, depend on your comfort levels and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'll share, like, so, um, like, I've been vaccinated, and my husband is as well, um, and I guess in just kind of like for me, so, and I know for everyone, it's a different decision for everyone, um, so speaking from just like, me and my little family here's perspective. So, um, my husband and I, the discussion was basically like, he at the time was had a hybrid schedule where he was working at home and in the office. So he'd be like, 2 days at home, 3 days in the office, and then alternate 3 days home, 2 days in the office, like that kind of thing, like Monday through Friday. And once they like fully went, well, sort of started to transition back into the office and everything, right? That little semi golden period where it was like, all right, things seem to be kind of starting to move in a little bit of a better direction.
Corona said, "Psych."
Yeah, Corona said, just playing, girl. So, so basically, it was kind of it wasn't a long conversation because I think we had just been conversing extensively throughout the beginning of this pandemic and just kind of talking about it. And then when the vaccine came up, and so it was just kind of like a continuous conversation, naturally. And then when it came to pass that, okay, like, when it came to pass, what am I reading a scripture out of the Bible?
Okay.
Hallelujah.
I'm like, what I say? When it came to pass, when the time came, that it was going by, like eligibility. So, like obviously like our frontline workers and healthcare and stuff like that,
Hmm.
like, and people of a certain age and the elderly and people that are immunocompromised and, that those tiers of people that obviously, needed to have access to it first, of course. And then, so my husband was in that set of people, and because of his career alignment. And so it was kind of like a short conversation. It was like, hey, should I get it? And I said, yes, get it, like without, it just like fell out of my mouth. And it wasn't like it probably sounded like, if a fly on the wall was listening to that conversation, it probably sounded like I just had, just with no further reading or research or cognizance of, like it, that I just went, no, get it, just out of like, okay, I am scared and I am anxious and I want you to be protected. But it was really all of that, and that I felt informed enough to go, this is a good decision for me and my little family, right? Like, I think that, like, and also, like, total full disclosure, like, I was also thinking, and maybe this was my anxiety and fear speaking as well, but I was thinking in terms of, okay, my husband's 7 years my junior, so he should go and get vaccinated. And if this is if as the decades go up, your tier of doing well with this, lowers or whatever the case is, then I'd rather him get it. So then that way, hey, I'm home and furloughed right now, so I'm not really leaving the house on that level in the first place. But if he is, then yes, then that, I just felt like, okay, if at least one of us are eligible right now, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
so I said, all right, that's the best decision for us. And he felt comfortable with that. And I said, okay, do it. So, I don't think he'll mind me saying this at all, but my husband got Moderna. So he did the two parts. Um, I then it opened up obviously for other people to receive the vaccine. So then I went online, scheduled my appointment, like all that stuff, and I ended up getting Pfizer. Um, and again, this golden period, once 2 weeks after your second vaccine, where you're like, oh, things are getting better or whatever, and then
Yeah.
a couple of months later, Delta's like, quit playing. You thought I was somewhere? I'm right here.
Guess
Like,
who's back?
guess who's back? Guess who's back? Like, yeah. And so I mean, my thoughts generally, on it are, for our decision, for us, and that was the right decision for us. And I felt like I personally felt a little more relieved, and I felt like, okay, now I can share spaces with other friends, and other people that have gotten it, and I feel comfortable. I'm not, it's like there's a deeper trust, like, or whatever, if that makes any sense. Um,
I, on the other hand,
yeah.
I am an anti-vaxxer. I do not believe in vaccines. Trump for
Theo,
president
quit playing games.
2024. No, Trump for president 2024.
You know what, Theo? You just sit up here playing in
All
our
right.
faces. No,
Lord,
you
can
Don't
you
don't
imagine?
don't don't
Lord.
speak that.
MF.
Don't speak that. Don't speak. You speak things that come into existence now.
Oh
Oh,
God.
no, don't.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
we
Let's
gonna
just,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get $100
we gonna
million.
run that back. We gonna
I'm
run
gonna
that
find a
Yeah.
back.
bag of money.
You better say the right thing. That's what you want. You want the right
There we
thing to
go.
come
No.
in.
Let's manifest those things,
Yes,
not the other
fam.
thing.
My raggedy ass got vaccinated, of course,
Mhm.
because there's no way that you got to see what I saw
Oh yeah,
and then you don't do what you have to do. It is
Dude.
agreed.
impossible. It is illogical. It is insanity. And I don't mean about my lover Shanti insanity. I mean insanity in terms of the madness.
Yes, Shanti. Hi.
Shanti, no.
Oh my God,
Jasper, don't
stop
go
it.
there.
He's amazing. Oh, Shanti.
No. Mm-mm.
It is insanity if you don't
Mhm.
do what you're supposed to do. So I too also got Moderna and went through the process feeling great for
Oh,
the
I
first
got
shot.
Pfizer. I didn't say that. Sorry. I just wanted to. So
No, you did
Sean
say
got.
it.
I
You said you
did.
got
Okay,
Pfizer
I'm
and Sean
sorry.
got
I was like, I
Moderna.
hope I didn't say that wrong.
Me and Sean got on the same team.
Yes.
I got the second shot and I felt like death.
Yeah.
And if that is what these people were feeling for weeks, for months, thank God for the vaccine. And of course, do your research, read.
Of course.
But
Mm.
having this anti-vaccine narrative is dangerous. And, and not to offend anybody, but I'll just say it's dangerous to have an anti-vaccine, especially this COVID sentiment where there's so many people dying. How about you, Jasper?
I have not vaccinated yet. And because of doing my research and watching the news and my own like resistance and own like
Mhm.
unsure and this when it comes to the vaccines because people who've gotten the vaccine have contracted COVID, so they really like put my like trust in it and my like okay reassurance that okay like get it I'll be fine at all times. So
Mhm.
I haven't got it yet, but I as someone who works with children, I know I need to get it, and I know I probably need to get it, and I am going to get it
Mhm.
soon. Just hearing you guys' experience, get vaccinated and all that, and it. I think I can handle it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get it. But something you guys don't know. I've had my own experience with Miss Corona because I tested. I had tested. Got sick 2 weeks ago, and I tested positive for COVID. So I was sick.
Oh
I
my
was sick.
god.
Yes,
Are and you
and
didn't tell us? Are you okay?
Jasper,
no, because
when
I
you
mean,
were losing your voice,
yes, yes.
shut the fuck
Oh my
up.
god. Why didn't
And
you tell us? You
bec-
could something happened to you. Sorry, I'm totally being okay. We'll
because
talk about this later.
I will
and,
curse
and
you out after we finish
and
this
Yeah, we gonna
episode.
touch you out after.
and that's why I say words are, and speaking of words being powerful, because we say things to each other. But we and Theo was joking, had like a joking the week before,
Mhm.
like 2 weeks before, and you was like, fuck you, I hope you get COVID, but you weren't like wishing COVID on me. Then I ended up getting COVID like 2 weeks later. And so,
Oh,
you know,
oh my god.
and I'm not saying Theo, like, he's not blaming you, but I'm saying,
No, no, of course not.
because and that made me like then maybe we look at like your words are powerful because you can say things and be joking, but you know,
You hear that, guys? We can manifest shit. No,
yeah,
I'm playing. The
and
three of
not
us,
mean to, and
we
not
have
mean
power.
to,
No,
and
not
not
mean.
mean to. It could be not mean to, but
That's true.
it was weird because I had I was congested and had a cold, so I thought I was just I thought I had a cold. I thought it was like a regular cold. Oh,
Mhm.
I'll be fine. Um, so, self medicated, but the week was 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks of the program I was working in, I had started with the cold and running stuffy nose one week, that whole week, and I was coughing, go phlegm. So then, me being foolish, I went to because I went swimming the first week. I was fine, but the second week is when I really started to really get sick. So went swimming on our last trip that Monday like a dodo bird, knowing I had this cold and cough
Mhm.
from them. So then by the end of that week, that was the last week. So by that Friday, I started really like my back and stuff was hurting me really bad. Like when I was cough, my back would hurt and I was like uncomfortable. I couldn't sit up. Like I had to literally lay. Like I would slump over and then my balance was off and my energy was off. And I knew something was not right, but I'm like, okay, I'm just me being me. I like to just tough stuff out, and I'm like,
Right. Like push through.
because I usually don't get sick. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be fine. I took some mucinex, cough medicine, and it was just like it was. And then I was like, and so I was like, okay, well maybe you know, it'd be fine. But my back and stuff I kept having this cough, kept coughing up phlegm, back really was hurting me. I'm like, so I went to the hospital on the 20th of July, which is a Wednesday. I went to the emergency room, and then they tested me, and it was my first
That
time ever
was
being tested.
before I left for vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first
This
time
was
ever.
recent, Isaiah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the first.
No, like holy crap.
That was the first time I ever been tested for it. So when I got tested, I was nervous, and so then the doctor came and told me that I tested positive for it. And when he first told me, I was my immediate reaction was I was in shock, and I was like, I thought it was like I'm like, is this a dream? Like, did you just tell me like? But in my mind, I already prepared myself for this possibility of me getting it because I work with children and I was around
Yes.
people all the time, so I already prepared mentally that
Those
this is going to
nasty ass
happen.
children.
That this is going to that it was going to I was going to get it eventually. I prepared myself, so
Oh.
it wasn't as like I didn't like it wasn't like it didn't like make me like freak out because I prepared myself because I knew like when I go to work I work out in the field. I work out with people, so I knew that me going out every day I'm at a higher risk because I don't work at home. I work
Right.
outside of my home, so I already knew the risk, and so I can pretty sure say I got it from either one of my kids or someone in the vicinity of the children I work with. And so they gave me some medicine for my immune system and pain. Thankfully, I didn't have any symptoms. I ate a lot. My appetite. I've
Oh,
eaten.
good. Your appetite was okay.
Just
Good.
eating, and I didn't lose my sense of smell or taste. And I've been, and I just got out of my quarantine 10 day. They put me on 10 day quarantine period on the 8th of May. So
Oh,
I just last Sunday.
Of August, not May.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean August. I'm sorry, y'all. May
yeah.
August. I just got out of it. Finally got out of it. And, got out of my quarantine station. I did fine. I, stayed in my room. I talked to you guys, and I didn't share. I just shared this with some of my family members this week too. Like just shared because I didn't know. Because you don't. Like, how do you tell someone that you have COVID and you watch the news and you don't want them freaking out
I
because you're not
know.
freaking
You're
out, and I
right.
didn't want to tell you guys because I want you guys to freak out because I'm like. I'm not freaking out, so I don't want because if they freak out, it's gonna make me freak out.
Yeah,
So
I
let
would
me
have
just,
quietly panicked a little
I
you
would have freaked
bit.
out
know.
too.
So I'm like, just let me. I'm processing it, and I told my mom, and to keep, this is, away from her, so she wouldn't get sick or anything like that. And just took the medicine they gave me for my immune system. But thankfully, I have a great God bless me with an amazing immune system, natural immune
And
system,
you're
medicine
young
I got,
too.
and I'm young, so I'm blessed. I don't have any pre-existing health conditions. Thank God, my Black Jesus. That's why I rock with. That's why I
Yeah.
rock with him
Praise
every
Black
day.
Jesus.
I always gonna rock with him because he's never let me down. And so and I didn't tell you guys because I was like, I was gonna share with you guys eventually, but I was like, yeah, I don't want Theo to feel bad because literally, I started getting sick, like I found out after and it was a joke, and I'm like, I don't want Theo to feel bad for me, like,
Yeah.
because he said that to me as a joke, and I ended up getting it. I'm like, so I'm like, oh, how do so,
Oh,
but
Look at that. I am sorry if I put that
so
into the universe.
but it's not your fault because, like I said, it's here. But
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thankful that I didn't get sick like a lot of people. I know people who have COVID and who had similar like experience as me. They didn't get sick, but I know I have someone in my family that had died from COVID because they had a pre-existing health condition. So I know
Yeah.
COVID. Some people had where they couldn't breathe, had to be in the hospital. But thankfully, they was able to send me home and I was
Yeah.
able to be at home and just take the medicine and quarantine at home, and not have to be in the hospital, hooked on machines, and breathing on machines and depending on the machine to keep me alive. So I'm thankful for
Damn.
that. So but yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the vaccine now after the experience because
Right.
I should have gotten it and I kept putting it off and procrastinating. And that's a lesson, you guys. Don't procrastinate when when something's telling you to go ahead and do something that you know is going to benefit you. Do it.
Yeah,
I learned that
trust
lesson.
your gut.
Trust,
Please.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely.
What? I'm yeah. When we get off this, we're gonna have a serious conversation with you, Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
Mm-hmm.
oh.
Because we were talking a lot with you,
Yeah,
and I remember, I think I spoke to you separately from Isaiah,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Wow, Jasper, you still sick?"
yeah.
And you
But
just like, "Oh
Right, he
yeah,
did
but
say
I'm
he wasn't feeling well, and then you could hear he was scratchy, like. But I
yes,
didn't. I just thought, because I mean, like, and Jasper, you can correct me if I'm wrong,
hmm
but I feel like Jasper just be like working, 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 working,
yeah."
like that's the vibe I get. Like I'm like Jasper be
yeah.
like be
I,
making that money, like so
I've
I
called
just
Jasper at work, and you hear those damn kids in the background,
yeah, yeah,
it,
like he
loud
really
and crazy.
he
they're
puts in that
affectionate,
work. So
and they're
I
affectionate.
oh sorry. So I
No,
thought like I thought like he was like a little run down and he got a little sometimes
Crashing.
you're getting a little sick or a little cold because you're just run down because you're working so hard. So I chalked it up to that. I said, okay, he's probably just he got to take a little beat or whatever. But I didn't. Like I wow, like I didn't know that you were going through that.
yeah, and I am like, yes, you guys now, what don't get to know me like. I don't like to share things like that because I don't want people to worry. So I don't want to bother people. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I keep things to myself. So that's the thing I need to work on because my mom has always got on me about that. Even as a child, like you need to tell people what's going on, something going on, or but you're going through something, talk. And I'm always being like the opposite, where I'll just keep it to myself, and I'll say, I'm fine, I'm good, everything's good, and I won't share, I won't say what's really going on because I just don't. I don't know. I just feel like if I as long as as long as I am fine to myself and I'm fine, then I don't want to be like make someone worry or freak someone out. So it's like no, I'm fine. and and I was dealing, and I was dealing with it on my own because me talking about it is gonna probably it would probably make it worse to constantly talk about it, and I'm like I didn't want nobody, I didn't want nobody to worry. Like I'm like I don't want to worry anybody, so I didn't tell anybody in my family until like I said this week, like literally like started telling people my friends didn't know. They were just like you guys. So why you didn't call? Why
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a very private person. I don't like to talk about certain things, so I keep, and even with my health, I would keep it to myself and deal with it on my own. When I'm getting sick, I don't like to tell people I'm sick. Like especially something like that, I was like, yeah,
Well, you just said it. You didn't want us to. You don't want us and family and people to worry.
where exactly? Because y'all, we know what's going on. So I'm like, and then I'm me, we, and then like me, we get to know each other. We're getting close. We're bonded and have a connection. I don't want you guys to be freaking out because you know what's going on with COVID, and I do. And so I'm like, I don't want to say this, and then they be like, oh my, God, are you okay? I don't want that. So I'm like, just let
Mhm.
me
But
deal
just
with it.
like
Let me
you
get
said,
through it. Let me get through it, and then
just like
I
you
can
said,
share.
people, the audience. I hope that this is a learning experience for everyone that's listening.
Yeah.
Yes,
And like Jasper said, let's do what we're supposed to do to keep ourselves safe, our family safe, and our community safe.
yes, yes, yes,
Do your
yes.
research, but hopefully the conclusion would be that you do what you have to do so that
Yeah.
you don't end up being a victim of COVID.
Yeah, she's a nasty bitch. You don't want to be her victim, So it's a lesson learned. And we learn lessons in life, and I just thank God that that I am that I was able to deal with it, and I didn't have some of the symptoms that other people had that had a hard time dealing with COVID, and
Yeah.
that God had me covered. God always had me covered, and God brought me through this. So I'm thankful for
Right.
that.
The blood of
So
Black Jesus,
The
Black
yes,
blood of
Jesus.
black. Yep. The
yeah. So
blood of
I'm
black
thankful
Jesus.
and thankful for that. And I just supposed to deal with it on my own because I deal with stuff on my own. Because I was like, I will share after I get through the quarantine period, and I get through that phase of it. Then I can share because that's like the time when you don't know how you're gonna react in those days, or how your body's gonna handle it.
That's
And I
true.
just sat in the room, and I was worried, of course, but I'm like, if I let fear set in, I'll sit in this room and I'll lose my mind, and then I'll get depressed, and I won't want to leave this room. So I can't let myself get this way. So I have to keep an upbeat and positive attitude because that's quick to go
I
to the
like this.
negative and be depressed and go to the sad and be fearful.
Probably like business.
Yeah,
You were like, let me like think like business as usual. Like, let me
yeah.
carry on the way.
Let
That
me talk to
sometimes
you guys.
helps.
It
It does.
does.
Yeah, it
Like
helps a lot.
it helped me a lot. Like how when we did the podcast, of the episode last week and the week before when we did those episodes, that helped me a lot. Like I looked forward to that because I was gonna be getting mine off of it, and you guys didn't know what was going on. I was myself, and I had a good time because it
Right.
took my mind off of it, and I was able
I
to
was
really
gonna say
just
you could not like you didn't miss a beat. Like you could tell like the energy was like it wasn't different. Like you were just
No,
like you know what I mean. Like enjoying. We were having a good conversation. Like as usual. Like I would have never
yeah.
known. You know.
Yeah, it took my mind off of it. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed doing it. So and that's why I look. This podcast is something I enjoy doing because when we all going through stuff, it helps us take our mind off of it.
you in line.
And so
Yeah.
But look at the funny thing. I was talking to Jasper a lot during
Yeah.
your quarantine time, Jasper.
yeah, you were.
And not even realizing like
Maybe the
Mm,
universe of Black Jesus was using me to do that.
I think so. I
yeah,
really do.
you
Um,
Fucking
was.
Jasper.
in the so in the spirit of being transparent, I'm just gonna tell you guys and everybody else that if you've heard any noise in the background for me, it's because I just spent quite a bit of time pulling my entire bed apart because I saw a spider.
Oh Lord.
Not a
So
spider. Oh
I
wow,
just felt like, all right, listen, if we telling shit, we telling.
wow.
Um,
Was it big or small?
it wasn't big, but it was like it's my bed. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's where I sleep. Like, I've heard, you guys heard that, like, little, not to totally shift the, because we'll go right back to, but like, have you guys heard that, like, little factoid or whatever, where it's like, well, when you're sleeping, you swallow like X amount of bugs or whatever. Like it's like a Snapple factor, some shit, right? So that's stayed with me. And once I see it and I'm awake, like while I'm sleeping, there is nothing I can do about it. But if I'm awake and I see it, it is me or the spider. One of us are not gonna make it out this.
Oh, don't kill Charlotte.
So,
Charlotte's
so,
dead.
so where's your husband?
He's
Is he?
sleeping.
So how are you doing? How is he sleeping
No,
in the room?
he fell asleep on the couch. But normally,
Okay.
if he falls asleep on the couch, I just wake him up and, I go, okay, hey, it's you fell asleep. Let's head to bed, and then we'll come to bed. But like, I haven't gotten to that portion yet, and so right in the midst of this, I was just like, oh, all right, and I'm trying to like keep up like conversation and while
Not
I'm like
freak out.
while I'm internally panicking, because when I saw it, I literally almost went ah, like it just at the top, but I was like, nope, we gotta keep it together.
Oh
But anyway,
wow.
guys, don't worry, I'm gonna find this little thing and I'm gonna kill it. But in the meantime, back to our regularly scheduled program. Oh my god.
You need a chill pill. Do you? I have several. Do you want one?
Oh sure. I'll take an order of 5.
But that's a good shift moment. I like, but you shifted the energy and took it to a funny, made it took it the, like made it took it from this sad kind of gloominess to a
I
lighthearted,
felt
funny.
like
So I like that.
I'm like maybe they can laugh about my suffering currently.
Yeah.
About my current suffering, because listen, there is nothing like, if I saw it anywhere else, I wouldn't have a whole fit. But like, I'm like, okay, I'm about to lay my head in this room. Like, we cannot lay down together. Like,
You should take a picture of it and then do some research and figure out what kind of spider it is, so you know what kind of spider, if it's
Oh
poisonous or
God, he's gonna
not.
I've
probably
never
freak
seen
out more.
I've never seen a spider in here before. That's why I like really was like really, and it's like just for the listeners,
Cause
like
that could be Charlotte. That could be
oh
Charlotte.
god, it's evening, so it's evening time, and so it's like around the time where you would be like, oh, okay, let me start getting ready for the next day, and so like this particular time, I said, okay, well, I'm gonna record in the bedroom because my husband had, fallen asleep in the living room. So I said, okay, well, I'll just record in here and then we're done, like, or whatever. And so the bedroom is very much my safe space. Like, I just love, it's like just cozy and whatever. So when I see little predators in my safe space,
But it's Charlotte. It's Miss Charlotte. We
but
can't
I don't
kill
know. What if
Wilbur's
it's not?
friend.
But what if it's not Charlotte? What if it's like Corinne, like the evil
Her,
twin sister?
yeah, that could be her niece.
Correct.
It could be her niece or
Yeah,
her
but
mom.
listen, just because Charlotte is sweet does not mean her mama is. Her mama might be like an angry thing. She might be like, yeah, I'm Charlotte's mama. What you gonna
But
do
you
about
can't
it? You
kill
know what I'm
God's
saying?
creature. That's Black Jesus creature. Black Jesus
Oh
creature ain't
Oh
that.
Lord,
God,
listen.
You
Okay,
gotta
this is
save it
I
and take
this
it
hate
is
out.
my
bugs. I
Save
this
will
it
is
kill them.
this is my mom and I. So this is my mom and I's philosophy. It's what I said earlier. It is me or the spider, and guess who
There
ain't
we
making it out
go.
this room? Okay.
That's the way Black
But
Jesus
you can
wants
take
it.
the spider and take it outside into nature. It's God's
If it doesn't,
creation.
like, what if it like freaks out? Because they're fast little fuckers, so they'll literally just be like, what if you go, hey, I just want to put you into the wild where you belong, and it just goes, nah, Negro, and
That's
just
why
like,
you pet it and then you like a cat. You pet it.
like a pet it. What am I gonna
Yes.
pet it with my finger so it decides that it wants to crawl at my finger? I think not. Oh my god.
I
Okay.
think now, I think this would be a perfect time to let Isaiah go take care of Charlotte or Corinne or their
Correct.
mother Beulah.
Not Beulah.
Something old. Something
Is the
old.
spider still there? Or did you kill it?
It literally, I can't find it. So
Oh wow, like Charlotte could be gone, or
I
Corinne
know,
could be
but Charlotte
gone.
could also be hanging out like under the bed or like, in between the mattress and the spring. You don't know. Like, I mean, I doubt that. But, so I'm
Well,
shaking out all the covers and pillows, which makes me angry because now I'm wondering why we have so many pillows because normally I love all these pillows, but so
Well,
yeah.
thank God that your husband's on the couch, because that'd be more of a freak out if he was asleep and the spider crawled on him.
he
He
probably
Oh,
would have slapped
oh,
Sean.
oh my God. Poor Sean. Sean would have gotten up, like, you guys would have heard the scream into like you would hear it, Theo, you would hear it, Jasper, like you would hear it across this country because I would try not to freak him out, but once he realized something was crawling on him, it would be like when Whitney Houston hits that note, like, and like it, yeah.
Oh wow, not the Whitney. No,
Oh
wait a
yeah.
minute.
Oh yeah. He would. Listen. You think I'm jumpy myself? I mean, he's not as jumpy as me, but he's like, if you scare him, he like jumps out of his skin. Like there is a smoke of Sean's frame of Sean's body because he just left the area so quickly. Like, it's yeah.
Well, Isaiah, go take care of Charlotte.
All right. Yes. Let me go take care of
We'll
Charlotte.
we thank you guys for listening,
Yes,
and
thank you
just want to remind you to go follow us on Instagram, Isaiah _ Jasper _ Theo _
Yeah.
and email us with suggestions and comments on making it make sense with ijt@gmail.com.
Oh, and guys, go leave us reviews. Leave us all the reviews on Spotify and on Apple because we are on Apple Podcasts now. So,
Oh yeah, look
yeah,
at
so
that.
We
go
we
leave us
are
reviews.
we on
We
Apple.
are. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about y'all. We are also on Apple Podcasts now, and I discovered it accidentally while listening to another podcast.
Wow.
We're
Really?
on Apple Podcasts, guys. Please go rate. Also, give us
We
them
didn't even
five
know that.
stars. Right? We
So
we
this is
like
breaking news,
literally
y'all.
breaking
Breaking
news.
news.
Go rate us, give us them 5 stars, and give us reviews. Let us know what you guys think about the podcast, about the episodes,
And
and about the
about our
content.
future sponsors, because we'll be getting
Yes.
sponsored going forward. So
Absolutely. And
Yes.
let us know what you think about them
yeah,
sponsors.
we moving on
Yes.
up.
Yes, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys' comments and the things you leave in our inboxes, and the
Yes.
stories that you post supporting us. But we want you guys to comment and give us your feedback, because that will help us grow the show and help us, see what you guys see, what you guys love, what you guys don't, what things that we need to work on or change. It gives us a
Absolutely.
constructive criticism that we
Absolutely.
are looking for. So make sure you guys
Yes.
leave a voice note on Anchor, or was it
Yes.
Anchor?
Absolutely.
And yeah, we look
Yeah.
forward to
Interact with
that.
us. We love the interaction.
Yes, and we love the support,
Yeah.
and we love from each and every one of you guys. Love your support, and I love Team Jasper, because I know some of y'all like to think like me, and I appreciate the love. Because Theo's aunt, we didn't share this. She's aunt, her enjoyed our podcast last week and understood my point and connected with my viewpoint. So I
No, her
appreciate it.
friend.
Well,
Say her
friend,
friend. I don't even
her
know her friend. Her
friend,
shot. I
Jennifer.
don't know her name. You should give her a shout out. She's a big supporter of
Well,
yours.
Theo's aunt's friend, liked was listened to the episode last week, and was liked my
Mhm.
viewpoint. So I'm shouting you out, aunt's friend. I send you
Sorry.
love, and I appreciate your support,
Yeah,
because
we're
it's hard
sending
being
you
me
love.
with two, like me with my opinions and in my brain against these two titans over here. So I appreciate having somebody in
Not
my
Titans.
corner. Little old me,
I mean,
the sweet one. I'm
I
the
do
sweet one.
appreciate being called a Titan though, because I appreciate being called a Titan a little bit because I'm the shortest of the three of us. So thanks.
Oh yeah, you
He'll
are.
take it.
Because that's little old me. I'm just little old me.
Innocent
Michelle.
Jasper.
Yeah, very innocent. Demure.
Not innocent of here. Jasper. He's like, I'm a docile darling.
Later, everybody.
Later,
Bye.
everyone. Love you guys.